good morning or good afternoon whenever you're watching this. So we have been talking about germs. We initially started off talking about germs on our hands, and we did our experiment where we checked the germs that were left on our hands after washing our hands versus using hand sanitizer. Well, and we've been talking about lately the germs that we find in the home. Okay, so I'm just going to review these things really quickly so that we can look at the results from our experiment. Okay? All right, so germs, they're really tiny things that you can't see with your eye, and they can cause sickness. All right, so there are four main types of germs: bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. Germs are on our hands. That's why we wash our hands. That's why we use hand sanitizer and different things to be able to help remove those germs or kill those germs. There are germs in our houses, That's one reason why we use various cleaners to clean things off, to get rid of germs, so that they don't end up getting all over the places. Now, this just gives an idea of where you find germs in your home: on sponges, the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, toothbrush holders, toothbrushes, TV remote, handles, counters, phones, doorknobs. Pretty much every surface that you can touch is going to have germs on them of some form. All right, so we had our petri dish experiment. We checked the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, remote control, phone, doorknob, and refrigerator handle. So here are the pictures from Wednesday. Okay, so we started the experiment, or took the samples of everything on last Friday, and this shows the results after 5 days. Okay, and then I did pictures today and uploaded those. So if we look here, there's the growth of the kitchen sink, the germs that are there. Bathroom sink has a bit less. I'll tell you one of the reasons why that is because you're often using bleach to clean the bathroom up and to clean the bathroom sink up. And then the kitchen sink, you're doing dishes and things like that, and sometimes you may not, use strong cleaners to clean things up because that's where you use food, and so you do it every once in a while, but maybe not all the time. Your TV remote, okay, and this right there is just some moisture that was in there. Okay, it looks pretty gross. Your telephone, look at that big, that's white mold there. There's this little germ growing here. The doorknob. Okay, so there's very little on the doorknob here. And one of the reasons is I did our front doorknob that leads outside. And that doorknob is made of, what is it made of? It's a metal that naturally kills germs over time. And so there are some other metals, like our bathroom doorknob would have had a lot more germs on it. One, because we touch it more often. Two, because it's not that type of metal that tends to kill off germs, or that germs are not able to live on for very long. So this is from the front door, and the type of metal that it is does not allow germs to live on it for that long. And then the refrigerator handle, you can see there's a good number of germs there, and you see these little white specks. There's some mold growth as well. Okay, so let's compare the kitchen sink to the bathroom sink. So if you look at the kitchen sink, there is definitely more mold growth than the bathroom sink sample. Okay, granted, I'm going to tell you, I didn't do my bathroom sink. I did my parents' bathroom sink because I cleaned my bathroom sink with bleach daily, if not more often than that. And I know my parents, my dad cleans it up more often, and he probably cleans the kitchen sink with bleach. And so this is being cleaned more often than this. This also includes the handles on the sinks. So this is like inside the sink, the handle that you turn on the water with the faucet, various places. And so there's more bacterial growth in the kitchen sink one than the bathroom sink. Okay? All right, so let's look at the doorknob versus the TV remote. So I told you the special thing about that doorknob. Other doorknobs would probably have more growth on it. And the TV remote. TV remotes are can be really dirty, and they're one of the things that can have hold the most germs on it in the hotel room because they're not typically cleaned. And so I actually do clean our TV remote every once in a while. I don't typically use it because I use my tablet to change things and to turn things on and off. My dad's the one who primarily uses the TV remote, but it needs to be cleaned, it looks like, from that one, right? The telephone, okay, there's this big thing of mold, and the telephone's not as bad as the refrigerator handle as far as having bacterial growth on it, but there's definitely this thing of mold and some stuff there. Oh, sorry, I keep on yawning. Okay, let's give this a second. So now this is a picture from we have what I took Wednesday to today, right? So you have the kitchen sink right here. You can see that there's definitely this has grown more, so it's had more time to grow, definitely. TV remote from Wednesday to um Friday. You look at this mold growth right here. That's white mold right there. And these are just random germs. These ones look kind of weird because they're kind of all crusty. The refrigerator handle, definitely more growth by Friday than there was on Wednesday. We have some mold that I guess they had started growing, these two little white things, but now they're pretty big and they've got black in the center. And I can imagine those would probably not be the greatest things to have growing, right? I actually wiped down our our refrigerator handle today and yesterday after seeing this. I'm like, okay, I'm wiping down that down more often, not just spraying it, but wiping it. The bathroom sink, see that's grown. Some of these look so cool. I really love the telephone one. Like it doesn't look as cool there, but this like just looks. I thought mold growth is cool looking. Not something you want and not something you want to touch, but it looks cool. And then you have the doorknob, and then the doorknob here, that's mold growth right there. You can see the black mold in the center and the white on the outside. I imagine the black will end up taking it over like it did here. Some mold growth here. I think that one will probably end up looking like that. And actually, if you leave a petri dish out and don't touch anything on it, don't take any samples except for just let it sit in the air, you will end up having quite a good amount of mold growth because you have mold spores going through the air. Um, Mold is one of those things that helps break down things that are decaying, and so it's often found out in nature too because like it's decomposing things, helping it to break down and break apart. So now here's a comparison between the two dates, so Wednesday and Friday on the kitchen sink. So there you go. You got those two marks. This one, the picture's clearer on this one, but still, look at that. It's like yellow and white. I am just curious. I wish I had something where I could test these to find out exactly what they were, what type of germ, like bacteria they are, especially this one because it looks kind of crazy with that pattern that's on there. The bathroom sink, definitely not as bad as the kitchen sink, but still, even from Wednesday to Friday, there's some growth. And this is, I accidentally poked the gel too hard when I was putting the thing in, so that's not anything there. But you can see that there's mold growing here. That mold's gonna grow and become bigger. And it's been humid, and so mold and these kind of things is gonna grow a little bit better because of the humidity. The TV remote from Wednesday, you can see that mold right here. It's just gotten so much more spread out here. It's kind of crazy looking. And then these are kind of crazy looking. I really just wish I could test them to find out exactly what kind of bacteria they are. Get a better idea. They look really cool. I know most people are like, oh, that's gross, but I think these look really cool. I really like doing Petri dish science things. It's fun for Miss Bar. I just love seeing how I love science though. So And then you have this here from the telephone. It's grown quite a bit, right? And then the mold here to there. You have one little spot there that's grown, but mostly you have this just gigantic plume of mold growing and growing and growing. And I actually had a funny dream last night that I had these, and it had all these like mushrooms growing in it because mold is just basically a mushroom, right? And so they're little tiny mushrooms growing, and I thought that was interesting because I had a dream about these petri dishes. I had a dream that they were growing too big, and I was like, oh no, if I touch it, I'm going to get germs all over me. But that didn't happen, obviously. So that is the growth for that one. The refrigerator handle from Wednesday to Friday. That growth. I mean, granted, these petri dishes are made specially to help promote the growth of these things. The stuff that they use, the gel that's used in them, is meant to make that grow so you can see how much how much is growing particular places, or you can look at it and then you can take the sample of the bacteria or the mold and look at it to see exactly what it is that's growing, what type of mold, what type of bacteria. um, and there are special tests to check viruses, but they're a little bit different, and these things don't typically show viruses on them. It's just mostly bacteria, and that's why I keep on saying bacteria and mold, because those are the two main things that grow within petri dishes. Um, but it's just kind of crazy to see the growth of different things. The doorknob, here we go, just a few little marks, little tiny things, a few more things, and then you have your mold right here and bacteria. So I hope you guys found that really interesting to just kind of see what that, really everything in your house has germs on it and bacteria. There's good bacteria, there's bad bacteria. Mold, there's okay mold, and then there's really bad mold. I mean, you eat cheese with mold in it sometimes. If you eat blue cheese. And there's definitely molds that will kill you if you inhale them and that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting to see what type of germs you have on various items in your home, and makes you realize, okay, maybe I need to, you know, use a little bit more bleach. For me, I use bleach spray, like a foam, because I like getting rid of my germs. I want this to be clear. Although the point of this, I didn't purposefully spray these things that day because I knew I would be taking samples and I wanted to see how much would grow on them if I, you know, didn't spray things down with the bleach for a few days. So this is kind of what things look like, and I hope you guys learned a lot about germs and how germs are everywhere, and that's why we need to clean things. That's why we need to wash our hands, and that is why we need to be careful to not spread illness by washing your hands, by cleaning things up, and make sure that we're all safe. I hope you guys are having a great day and having a wonderful Friday. Okay, bye everyone.